Welcome to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank that brings you market views and insights on the go.
Welcome to Cut to the Chase. Today is Thursday, the 26th of October. I'm Daniel Lam, your host for the podcast. So on Tuesday, I had my second interview at the Arabic language channel that I mentioned earlier this week. It was a special session discussing why global investors have been shunning away from Chinese equities. So I talked about the headwind mentioned from the podcast on Monday, but the interview was stopped short because of some local breaking news. And interestingly enough, hours after the interview, the continued slide in Chinese equities was also stopped short by the breaking news that the Chinese government is increasing its budget deficit. Now, in fact, this budget revision for 2023 was not included in the National People's Congress Standing Committee, NPCSC's meeting agenda. So one needs to know that budget revision is rare in China. Even in the COVID trouble 2022, policymakers didn't go for this option and turned to policy banks instead. Now, previously, we had budget revision in 2016 for tax reform, 2008 because of the earthquake in Sichuan, and of course, 1998 in the Asian financial crisis. So the reason cited by the NPCSC was for disaster relief. But the severity of the recent crisis, such as the flooding and the typhoon, was not so comparable with the Sichuan earthquake or the COVID pandemic. So the intention really seems to be to boost growth and confidence. And you need to look at the budget deficit. It's expanded to 3.8%. And that's beyond the 3% red line. And the government only went beyond that red line twice in 2020 and 2021. So this step shows a greater sense of urgency from the policymakers, especially taking into account that the time window is actually short. Now, with the NPCSC's approval, fundraising and deployment would happen in the coming weeks. So, if you look at the point that this happened right after the significant GDP beat for the third quarter this year, it really nullified the concern that the government may, quote-unquote, go easy on the stimulus because of the data beat. And that was one of the key concerns we raised in our podcast this Monday. So it seems that policy is riding on the activity momentum in order to boost up the weakening confidence. Now, of course, for the investors, the key question is this enough to lead to a sustained year-end rally in Chinese equities? It's hard and too early to tell, but this could signal further policies ahead from the government. So, investors may consider buying some shares from our two most favored sectors in China, i.e. communication services and consumer discretionary. That is all from me for today. As always, if you enjoy this podcast, please don't forget to rate and like it. Thanks for listening, and we wish you a happy day ahead.
Thank you for listening to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank. For more details, visit Market Views on the Go on our website or click the link in the description.